Before fame, before the Silver Surfer persona, before the wave, there was a young boy from Harlem. Born on May 21, 1978, Charlie Wingate grew up surrounded by the rhythm of the streets, a neighborhood filled with both hustle and heart. Harlem, in the 1980s, was a city within a city, music, ambition, and danger coexisting on every corner. Like many kids of his generation, Charlie saw more than a child should. He lost family to the system, saw friends disappear to violence, and learned survival before adolescence. But music was his refuge. He loved the energy of soul and funk, and later, the rise of New York hip-hop legends like Biggie, Nas, and Wu-Tang Clan. He didn't know it then, but the swagger and melodic tones he absorbed would later become his signature, something the world would call the wave. By the late 1990s, Charlie's life was split between two worlds, street life and studio dreams. He wasn't a rapper yet, but he had the charisma and storytelling talent that caught attention quickly. Then came his first big connection, Jim Jones, one of Harlem's most prominent rappers and a member of the Diplomats, Dipset. Jim Jones saw something special in Max B, a raw, melodic, free-flowing energy that could turn street poetry into soundtracks. Max joined the Bird Gang collective, and together, they started creating something that didn't sound like anything else in hip-hop. His raspy voice, his harmonizing flow, and that laid-back wave made songs sound alive. Between 2005 and 2008, Max B was everywhere. He co-wrote and featured on hits like We Fly High Ballin', helping Jim Jones reach mainstream success. But the spotlight also brought friction. Max B wanted freedom, creative control, recognition, and ownership. The industry politics and street loyalty lines began to blur. Soon, tensions rose within the Dipset family. And when loyalty turned to conflict, Max chose independence. That decision changed everything. After splitting from Jim Jones, Max B reinvented himself completely. He was no longer just an artist, he was a movement. He began calling his style the wave, smooth, effortless, melodic rap that rode like water, blending street realism with a chill, hypnotic rhythm. It wasn't aggressive, it was cool. Fans started calling him Wavy Crockett or the Silver Surfer. Between 2007 and 2009, Max B dropped dozens of mixtapes, Public Domain, $1 Million Baby 1 and 2, Coke Wave, with French Montana, and each release spread his name across underground hip-hop like wildfire. His music wasn't backed by big labels, yet it felt legendary. Every track had emotion, humor, and street philosophy. He'd sing and rap in the same verse, creating a unique blueprint that many later artists, from A$AP Rocky to Wiz Khalifa, would draw inspiration from. But at the same time, Max's personal life was spiraling. While his career was climbing, his past decisions were about to come back and haunt him in the worst possible way. In 2009, just as Max B was preparing to sign a major deal and go mainstream, tragedy struck. He was convicted of conspiracy to commit murder, kidnapping, and armed robbery related to a 2006 incident in New Jersey. Although Max maintained that he was not directly involved, the court handed him a 75-year sentence, effectively a life term. The hip-hop world was stunned. One of Harlem's brightest voices had just been silenced. At the height of his creativity, Max B was taken away, in prison. Time moves differently. For most, it breaks you. But for Max B, it became a test of spirit. Even behind bars, he never stopped creating. He recorded phone freestyles, sent lyrics to fans, and communicated through his close friend and collaborator, French Montana, who carried the wave forward. Max became a symbol of perseverance, a cult legend. Artists began referencing him, wearing Free Max B shirts and crediting him as a pioneer of melodic rap long before it became mainstream. Drake, Kanye West, and The Weeknd all cited his influence. Kanye even featured Max B's voice on the Life of Pablo album in 2016, calling him the Wave God. Inside those prison walls, Max's legend only grew stronger. By 2016, a ray of hope appeared. Max B's legal team, supported by friends and fans, fought tirelessly for an appeal. In 2019, after years of effort, his sentence was reduced from 75 to 20 years. Suddenly, the impossible seemed possible. Max B began recording new music from prison, his voice captured through phone lines, his lyrics filled with maturity and reflection. Songs like Hold On, Don't Push Me, and Black and I'm Proud showed a man transformed, still wavy, but wiser. French Montana kept his name alive in the media, often reminding the world that the wave is coming home soon. The comeback was no longer a dream, it was on the horizon. After more than 16 years behind bars, Max B walked out of prison on November 9, 2025. The news broke across every major outlet. Fans flooded social media with celebration, music videos, and old mixtapes. French Montana was there to greet him personally, two brothers reuniting after nearly 2 decades of loyalty and loss. For Max B, freedom was more than a physical release. It was spiritual rebirth. He told reporters he was thankful, not angry, and that prison had taught him patience, discipline, and faith. His first words after stepping out were simple: "The wave never died. It just rested." The internet exploded. Clips of his release went viral. Millions streamed his old songs, and younger audiences, many of whom were children when he went to prison, discovered his music for the first time. Now, with freedom in his hands, Max B faces a new challenge: rebuilding his career in a world that changed while he was away. Streaming, social media, and new age rap have transformed the industry. But what hasn't changed is authenticity, and that's exactly what Max B represents. Sources close to him confirm he's already working on a comeback album, featuring both classic collaborators and new generation artists. French Montana, A$AP Mob, and even Kanye West have hinted at joint projects. But Max's vision isn't just about music, it's about redemption. He wants to inspire others who've been through dark times to rise again, no matter how deep they've fallen. In a world obsessed with fame and speed, Max B reminds us that legacy takes time, and sometimes the longest journeys make the strongest comebacks. When historians look back at hip-hop's evolution, they'll see Max B's fingerprints all over the genre. His melodic rap style, once seen as unconventional, became the foundation for the next generation of artists. The wave wasn't just a sound, it was an attitude. Smooth, confident, effortless. The art of making struggle sound stylish. Artists like Wiz Khalifa, Currency, and A$AP Rocky have all acknowledged his influence. Even Drake once said that Max B was one of the most influential underground artists of all time. But beyond the music, Max B's story is a mirror for anyone who's ever been counted out. He made mistakes, paid the price, and yet he returned stronger, wiser, and grateful. In one of his post-release interviews, Max B shared a message that resonated deeply with fans. Don't let time or walls break you. Use every second to build yourself back up. I went in young and wild. I came out focused and free. Those words aren't just for rappers. They're for anyone who's lost something, a dream, a purpose, a piece of themselves. Max B's journey shows that redemption is real, that art can survive even in the darkest places, and that sometimes the wave has to crash before it can rise again. As of 2025, Max B stands at the crossroads of two worlds, the past that tried to bury him and the future waiting to celebrate him. The wave that started in Harlem decades ago has finally come full circle. And for those who doubted, his story is living proof that you can lose everything and still come back stronger than ever. It's a testament to resilience, art, and the power of belief. Because legends don't fade, they evolve. And for Max B, the wave is back, and it's only getting stronger. This was Max B, The Wave Returns, the untold story of a Harlem legend. A story of sound, struggle, and survival. If you've ever felt down or defeated, remember, the tide always turns. The wave always comes back.